Now when we think about resilience, it's about how do we anticipate the unknowns? How do we plan for what's next and what's unknown?
Welcome to Richmond Next, a series produced in partnership with the Richmond Times-Dispatch, where we talk with leaders shaping what's next for our region. I'm Jennifer Wakefield with the Greater-Richmond-Partnership. And today, we're spotlighting the innovators, builders, and changemakers driving growth across Greater Richmond. Today, we're talking about building resilient companies, what it really takes to grow, adapt, and lead through uncertainty. I'm joined today by Damian Klute from EY. Thank you for joining me here.
Glad to be here.
Damian, when you think about the most resilient companies that you work with, what is it that they have in common?
Resilience isn't about just surviving disruption. It's actually transforming through it. When I look at companies that are really excelling at this, they're looking at different ways to incorporate how they're rethinking business processes, leveraging data. So if we really break it down, it's they're data-driven, they're focused on optimizing process, and they're really looking for insights and embracing their talent.
Well, tell me, has your definition of resilience changed over the years?
If we think about what happened in the pandemic, it was all about I just need to be able to get my product out the door. I just need to support my teams. Well, now when we think about resilience, it's about how do we anticipate the unknowns? How do we plan for what's next and what's unknown? What could be an opportunity or what could be something that we needed to defend against?
What do you think it is that great leaders or resilience leaders do to balance that long-term growth versus short-term?
Well, the best leaders actually carve out time to think about the future. What's going to be coming in the next 3, 5, 10 years? It's not about what their legacy is, but more about what do they need to do today and tomorrow to prepare the workforce and the organization to be able to achieve that long-term value creation for their stakeholders.
Your organization really emphasizes people first and purpose-driven growth. How do those elements directly affect a company's ability to navigate disruption?
When I think about our organization, right, we're very large, but here in Richmond, we're about 300 people. What we say and what we do matters. So when we take our purpose of building a better working world, we really want to be all in on that strategy. And the best way you can do that is to really educate the people and help them understand what they do and how it connects to the larger ambition that we have as an organization. When we can connect it to that purpose, we find that our folks are better able to adapt and embrace the changes necessary so that we can be the best organization possible.
What brought you to this region, and how long did you plan to stay? What continues to make you stay here?
I'd love to say that I was the reason we came to Richmond, but it was actually my wife. She had an opportunity when she was working at Target to move into a regional executive role that happened to be based in Midlothian. And that was one of those things, Jen, we thought would be 3-5 years. Didn't have a real hard time horizon, but we assumed that either Target or EY would end up taking us in a different direction.
And how long ago was that?
That was 17 years ago, and this is now home.
So what is it that makes this stay or makes this place home for you?
For me, it's the perfect combination. It's the right size city. It's got an incredible proliferation of major companies. And when I think about what I do and the companies that I serve and where I can bring the most value, it is those high growth companies, those large companies, the middle market, right? We have everything from the biggest companies in the world to startups.
How does operating in a region like Greater Richmond support resilience and long-term growth for different organizations?
I think I have a really unique view, having personally lived in many parts of the country. I've worked all across the globe. I work for an organization that's in 150 different countries. There is something special about here, right? And so when I think about Richmond, one of the things that really gets me excited and makes me want to call this place home and I want to grow our business here is the fact that it has many of the things that a larger metropolitan market may have without the same level of friction. And what that means to me, it's an easy commute, access to incredible talent, and a vibrant cultural environment, great restaurants, museums, a vibrant, thriving, business community. It has all the kind of secret ingredients, if you will.
Talent remains a major concern for leaders everywhere. How does a company's talent strategy influence its long-term resilience?
The workforce is everything. Without our workers and without our colleagues, we wouldn't exist. And I think about our organization, which is solely dependent on people. The way that you can incorporate these two things is really by having dedicated learning and development programs. We have to continually invest in our talent. And by doing so, that prepares us for the changes that are coming, as well as to really shape the future that we see ahead of us.
From a broader perspective, focusing on Richmond as well, what stands out about our region as a place for companies who are looking to grow sustainably?
When I think about the Richmond community, right, we have just it's an affordable place. We've got a large talent pool. When I think about the universities that we recruit from, I mean, they're the cream of the crop. And, any employer down here can tap into that ecosystem. We have great workforce development programs.
Damian, as we begin to wrap up, if you can offer one piece of advice to a CEO who wants to build a more resilient company, what would it be?
My piece of advice is don't focus on the capabilities that have gotten you where you are today. It's to focus on the capabilities that are going to take you to the next level.
Damian, thank you for sharing your perspective. Building a resilient company isn't simply about reacting to change. It's about preparing for it, investing in people, and choosing the right partners and places to grow. And that's exactly what we work to support here in Greater Richmond. This is Richmond Next, where our future takes shape.